Whoa. Whoa. What are you doing, Jeff? What are you even doing?
I hope I have time to get in the hot tub.
Oh, I guess it would be nice if I could touch your body. I know now everybody's got a body like you, but I gotta think twice before I give my heart away. And I know all the games you play, cause I play them too. Oh, but I need some time off from that emotion, trying to pick my heart up off the floor. Off the floor, off the floor.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
Board games.
And
board gamey things.
that's right. We are here today with another pumped up Kickstarter. We are here today to talk about Fractured Sky from Ivy Studio / Ivy Games, and this is actually on Kickstarter literally today. Today is April of the 11th.
Today.
The 11th of April, and that's when this is out on Kickstarter. All the links will be down below. This game was sent to us by Ivy Studios. Thank you to them, as well as they are sponsoring this video. So double thanks. This game is kind of like a little bit of deduction, a little bit of area majority, a little bit of influence, and a little bit of sneaky.
Hidden objectives.
And being sneaky. And it plays for 1 to 5 players between 45 to 75 minutes, depending on how many players and how sneaky you are. To get started, we are going to jump into a little overview, and then we will be back to talk about the game. Let's go. A star tore to pieces and fell to the sea. 10 cursed islands arose from the depths. A Newman was awakened by the clamor they caused, whose anger turned waters pitch black. The god-beast called out to the seers and the wise men of earth, and did offer to grant them one wish. In exchange, they would bring him star fragments that fell, so he might cast them back to the heavens. But only one wish would be granted to them, to the ones who had gathered the most. They took to thy sky in their vessels they soared, for riches, for love, for glory. Go forth, brave adventurer, and claim your heart's greatest wish. In Fractured Sky, each player is competing to have the most starfalls at the end of 5 rounds. There are 2 different ways that you can collect starfalls: winning islands with starfalls, or completing objectives at the end of the game. On your turn, you may take one of 3 actions: place an airship, create a building, or scout a starfall location or peek at an objective. Each round ends when all players have placed their 3rd and final airship. Then, reveal the hidden objective card and immediately score it. Reveal the hidden starfall cards and place starfall tokens on designated islands. Reveal all airship tokens and assess which player has the highest troop power. At the end of the 5th round, the player with the most starfalls wins. We are back, and we are now talking about Fractured Sky. First things first, you are in the sky, and there's islands literally everywhere, and you have airships. And your airships are going to places, and they're trying to control them because, you want to know why? You are trying to collect starfall. The stars, they have been a-fallen, and you're trying to collect them. And how do you do that? Great question. You are taking your airships and you are secretly putting out some power behind your troops, behind your airship. You have these little tokens that have numbers on them, okay? So you're gonna take an airship that's got a magnet on its butt, and you're gonna go, that's what it did.
Probably a good time to mention, we have the deluxe copy, the deluxe components. Not sure if that matters, but we should mention that.
But in our copy, there's a magnet, and it sucks onto this little thing that has a number on it, and then you put it into or onto that island.
And those power tokens are hidden information.
It's hidden information, and you have a range of values of those power tokens, and everybody has the same range, but of course you don't know what people are putting out. There's 2 tokens that are white, though, and one of them has a value of 1, and one of them has a value of 10. So if you put out one of those tokens and people can see white, they might think,
Is that a 1 or a 10?
Is that a 1 or a 10? Do they really care about that island, or do they care about it not very much?
And you might be like, why? How would any of this matter if you have the same ranges? Well, the point being is you're only allowed to have a maximum of 10 strength out on the board.
Yes, at once.
At once.
Because you have 3 airships. Now, you can technically go over 10, but you're going to get some negative effects, so it's not that great if you do. You don't want to do that. So basically, on your turn, you've got a few different options. You can either place one of your airships out onto the board, onto an island. If you're the first person on an island, you get to draw one of the hidden starfall location cards. And so when you draw that, you get to look at it, and you now know there's no starfalls at that location.
Mm-hmm.
The other people don't know that.
But
bunch
you
of
do.
dummies. They don't know that. So now you know. So you've got secret information. So that's one thing that you can do. The next thing that you could do is you could build a structure. There's markets that give you extra resources. There's fortresses that give
extra power.
Yep, they give your troops extra power. And then there are skimmers. And the skimmers give you just a one-time extra power for that round while your other buildings stay out and they're always giving you stuff. Then the other thing that you could do is you could be a little bit sneaky and you could take a little peek at the hidden starfall cards and be like,
now I know where there's going to be starfall. And there's always one public card for a starfall location.
Exactly.
So everyone will have at least one idea of a location that there's going to be starfall. But then you kind of need to deduce where other starfalls are going to pop up.
Exactly. So now you know. And you have the choice to also gain a resource from that card. But then if you do that, you're kind of giving away to everyone what that location might be. So if you take a wood and you put the card back, then everybody kind of knows, okay, well, one of the starfall locations is one of the islands with wood, because not all of them have wood. You can also peek at the hidden objective cards at the top, because each round there's going to be an objective card at the end of the round that gets revealed that you'll get to score points off of. So you can take a peek at that so you know what you're working towards. That's what you get to do. You continue doing that until everybody has used all 3 of their airships for that round. The game is played over 5 rounds. So after you take all of your actions and everybody's airships are out, then you're going to resolve. And you're going to be revealing what chips you have put out onto the board in order to see who has won majority of that island. Then you're going to be revealing all of the hidden starfall locations, and you're going to be sprinkling your starfall, beep, 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 all over the board. And then you're going from island to island to see, okay, who has the most power here. Whoever has the most power gets starfall. Whoever has the second most power gets the 2 resources that are listed on the island. Whoever has the third most power gets 1 resource. And whoever has the least, anybody else has the least, guess what? You get nothing. That is what you're doing. You're resolving. You are kind of bringing all of your stuff back off of the board. And then you're doing it again. And you're doing that for 5 rounds, and whoever has the most starfall at the end of the game wins.
It's a really interesting strategy game trying to figure out what to do in order to optimize each turn. Because in some instances, it actually makes sense to not get starfall because you need to spend resources to do stuff.
Yes.
So in some instances, it's better actually to be in second or third in a location because you need to get those resources, maybe to put out a market or maybe to put out a skimmer. So it's not always about being the best or the highest placing ship in a region because, yeah, you'll get starfall, but then you're going to eventually stall out your engine.
Yeah.
Because you need resources to push forward.
Exactly. The buildings cost resources. In order to peek at a card, that costs resources. In order to look at an objective, that costs resources. So it is kind of a bit of a balancing act, and it's also, there's a lot of deduction within it because you're kind of like trying to figure out, why did Jeff put his ship there? Because you only have 3 ships, right? So is it likely that somebody's going to go to an island to bluff?
Maybe.
Maybe they just want to get resources and they know that they can get that there, right? That is kind of what the game looks like. The deluxe version of this game, as with Ivy Studios, is like deluxe.
Everything has its place on your player board. Everything does.
Yeah.
And what I would say is normally, like, when you have a bunch of these pieces, it's like a slog to set up. But I feel like that game was very easy to set up, quick to table. Didn't feel like there was too many things that needed to get put together in order to actually start playing. It's
a really good point. This game is not a long game. Like, if you are playing at a lower player count, it's going to go, the rounds will go fairly quickly.
There is an AI at 2 player.
And at 1 player.
And at 1, yeah.
Yeah, and it is necessary. You might ask, like, oh, can you just play at 2 without it? Like, technically, yes, you could, but there's not going to be enough player interaction, so the AI really makes it a fuller game for 2 players or solo.
Which is typical, I think, for an area majority game. Like,
and a deduction game.
Normally, there would need to be, you know, at least 3.
Exactly. Now, who might this game be for? If you enjoy games of deduction, or if you're interested in getting into games of deduction, this is not the same kind of deduction as like Werewolf or Blood on the Clock Tower or anything like that. It's a bit milder. It's just sneaky is what it is. Like, you're just wondering what other people know, and you're knowing what you know. So if you enjoy a little bit of deduction, I think that this could be a good game for you.
Yeah, I've not played anything quite like this where they've combined with that social deduction piece as well as area majority, and it really worked super well. A lot of the times, Jamie would be pulling cards, and then she'd put out a ship, and I'm like, why did you do that? Because I'll have information, and I'll be like, that doesn't make sense, but maybe she knows something I don't know. And so if you like that dynamic, this is something you should look into for sure.
There's always like a certain level of unease because you're not sure sometimes if you're making the right decision. Like, what if I reveal something later? That's exactly where I went, which kept happening to Jeff.
Yeah, happened
over
to me.
And over and over again.
Quite often.
Hilarious. If you like games that have beautiful components, beautiful art, this has a great table presence.
It does, yes.
It is not too much of a table hog, actually. No. It doesn't really take up that much space, but it definitely holds a presence. This is one of those games where it's like not hard to learn. It comes in the strategy of the game is where it gets a little bit more complex, but I would probably rate this between like light medium. It's around that area, so it's not a super heavy game.
Yep. I very, very, very much enjoyed the chits, the power chits being secret information and magnetic.
That was really
very cool. Tickled my brain.
It has a toy factor.
Yeah, it really tickled my brain. The magnets definitely have a bit of a toy factor.
Who might this game not be for? Pretty much, if you don't like any of the things that we just mentioned, it might not be for you.
I was going to say if you don't like mean, because it could be a bit mean. Like,
get a bit mean.
You go to a location being like, yeah, this is the one, and then someone goes there, and I could see people being like, because once you're there, you're there. You know, there's no real, like, combat.
Yeah.
It's basically just reveal and hope you have majority.
Yep. And you definitely need the right group of people to play this with. So if you're primarily a, solo or 2-player, now you can play with the AI cards. But I think a big part of this game does come with that interaction. So it might be something that if you've got like at least 3 or 4 players that you can play with, I think that would be ideal.
I think 4 is probably the best,
I would say,
player count for this one. Yeah,
definitely. So that is a little bit about Fractured Sky. Once again, it is live on Kickstarter right now. If you're interested, definitely click the links down below. Go check it out. And we also have a channel in our Discord that is dedicated to it. So if you want to go and have a chat about it and share your excitement, please come on over to the Discord and join in on the conversation.
100%.
100%. Now, if you're interested in buying board games, listen, we've been over this before. We just talked about it. You got to go to Kickstarter for this one right now, okay? However, other board games, you should first start by checking your friendly local gaming store. And for us, that is
the Boardroom Game Cafe.
If you like snacks, then maybe you should check out
MunchPak.
Exactly. We have a link. We have a code.
So good.
So good. Snacks from around the world. You love to see it. Snacks. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see,
please subscribe.
We hope to see you again soon. And now we say goodbye. Goodbye.
Later days. Wait, my phone buzzed.
Oh. Well, excuse me, Mr. Popular. Well, I'll take a moment to share with everyone this very cute picture.
Ooh.
Our cat.
That looks delicious.
Where's that?
Michelle.
This is our cat. Dress is Loki. That's old baby. I've been busy.
P-U-K.
Puck you, miss. I said puck you with the P.
That's so niche and no one's
anybody seen Summer High
There was a
Tide?
couple people in comments, I think.
There's no way that they haven't. I'm Janae. Anyways.
There's stuff.
Or why are you yucking yum?
There's stuff you think I that I find dumb or something like that. You know what I meant.
There's stuff that I find dumb or something like that. Okay.
You know what I mean, ding dong.
You ding ding dong. Are you done?
My ding ding dong.
I knew you were going to do that. Now
Can I do it now?
Yeah, now.
Do I have your permission?
It goes up now, Jeff,
Do I have your
after
permission,
that
ding
part.
dong?
Do you have your permission, ding ding dong? Tra-la-la? I give her a different name every time. Today her name is Ivy for Ivy Studios. Banana, banana. What's that from, Jeff?
Banana, banana.
Yeah.
It's sport something.
Obviously. I don't know. I thought you would know.
I know.
It's obviously something you watch, because how else would I know it?
I can like hear it in my head. I can't remember what it's from though.
Is it hockey? Why do I feel like it's hockey? Banana, banana.
I think it's TSN. Yeah, it's TSN. It's
TSN.
when TSN comes back from commercial.
Exactly. I knew that all
Come
along.
on, Jamie, get with it.
Do it.